Welcome to Nomads TV, welcome to another fine day on planet Earth in the presence of a fabled example of 911 GT3. Now a 911 GT3 needs no introduction, it's one of the most desired iterations of Porsche 911, full stop. The original, introduced in 1999, is now known as the 996.1 GT3. It was a bit of a skunkworks project really by the Porsche Motorsport team to get the road-going 911 homologated for GT3 category of racing. Overseen by Roland Kussmaul, Porsche's long-time motorsport legend. This is his successor in the 996.2 and it's famous chiefly for being the first AP car, the first scion of the Andreas Preuninger dynasty at Weissach. This car incidentally is also the first GT3 that was allowed into the USA, as a quick side note. Now one of my favourite automotive quotes came from Mr. Preuninger around the time of the 991.2 GT3, and he said the Porsche 911 is 10,000 parts working harmoniously as one. And I think that quote gives a pretty good insight into the methodology instilled by Mr. Preuninger and his team at Weissach that can be traced right the way back to this car, the first example of taking a product and fine-tuning it in lots of detail areas to create a masterpiece that's much greater than the sum of its parts. And a great case in point is comparing this car with its predecessor in the Gen 1. At face value, they're both powered by 3.6 litre Metzger engined flat sixes. Both have a drag coefficient rating of 0.30, but there are many changes on this car that give it more power, more downforce, better safety and greater efficiency as well. The criticism of all those changes means this is probably the most hardcore GT3 ever produced, and certainly on paper the difference between this and its RS relation is minimal. It's not until you drive those head to head that the differences become apparent, namely geo and aerodynamics. But as I said, on paper it's damn near identical to its RS relation. So I think it's fair to say this is the most hardcore GT3 there is, and as a result perhaps one-dimensional in terms of the driving lifestyle it offers. It's basically designed to be a track car, not so much a car to drive around Europe in the way subsequent GT3s could. But modern technology can often come to the rescue, and this particular example may well have the answer. Yep, so this car has been comprehensively reworked. It's only got 29,000 miles on the clock. It's lovely in here, it's really, really nice. It comes with the elephant ear bucket seats with the Porsche crest and the cage behind, the half cage, which is from Porsche's equipment. But then in latter times, and Harbour Cars first sold this in 2008 with 15,000 miles on the clock. In that time, an owner has breathed, I would say, some new life into it, given it a new lease of life. Possibly again in the greatest Weissach traditions, elevated performance and efficiency with reference to the upgraded brakes that are on this car, but also has spared a bit of a thought for practicality, and that's why this car comes fitted with tractive suspension. And that suspension is the reason I wanted to sit behind this car when browsing the Nomads marketplace a couple of days ago. As you'll well know on this channel, I recently had the system fitted to my own car, Little Irish, transformed it for usability. Monday just gone, I was on track in it. Today I'm driving to work in it. Brilliant duality that product brings. And it's been fitted to a GT3, which I think throws up a really interesting proposition. Could you have a modern classic 911 that's more usable? A GT3, but the most hardcore GT3. Before we get carried away behind the wheel of this midnight blue beauty, let's pull over and take a look and see what we're working with on the suspension setup. So I've pulled over to just have a look at this tractive system because the GT3, I mean, the 996.2 GT3 is a phenomenal car, like well established in this video and in many others. But as I said, where it's so good, the criticism is possibly that it's quite one-dimensional. We know this thing is a brilliant car, an amazing, engaging, modern classic now. So its performance credentials are well assured. What we want to improve is the other end with the GT3 996.2. So that's like road comfort. That is traditionally where I have personally really struggled with this car. So we're going to adjust that here with the tractive system. It's got the dial, which you can use if you're strapped in with the race harnesses, because I don't think you'll be able to reach down there unless you're Mr. Tickle. But yeah, the touchscreen is like pretty much the same as the one that I have in Little Irish. So it's got the 5 different presets, and just looking through them, yeah, I can see they gradually get more and more hardcore all the way up to program 5, which looks to be for, yeah, full-on track work. So look, let's just play with the first setting, and I'm just going to turn everything down and everything off, because if we can get this over the line and have, there we go, and have just everything on its softest setting, this is going to give us the best possible chance to success on the road. Because if you can have a 996 GT3 that is more usable on the road, whew, that is an exceptional proposition. Yes, now we are talking, YouTube, now we are talking. Wonderful thing. Big punch from the Metzger Flat 6, so torquey. You've got 80% of maximum torque in this reworked Metzger engine from just 2,000 RPM. It's a really torquey, punchy thing. We're back to a 30 again. Oh, this is honestly, the Geo on it is lovely. This in its full soft setting is so nice. It's compliant, twinned with that Geo. Again, usually, you know, every time I think of having driven a 996.2 GT3, and I've honestly lost count of the amount of them I've driven over the last 15 years, they are just very hardcore. Even the comfort spec ones with the sport seats and no cage, they're just, you know, they're very hardcore. And it's possibly put me off them a little bit, really, but this is definitely the answer. And I need to point out, you know, Tractive aren't paying me. I wish they were. I think I'd make a lot of money, but then, you know, they're not paying me to talk about the merits of the system. Oh, that, the way it went down that and over that bump was beautiful. Oh, it's a game changer. It's such a game changer, you know. Modern tech on these cars. It just unlocks something that could possibly in the past have proven prohibitive for some people when it comes to a potential purchase. I'm on its softest setting with the tractive suspension, but it's exactly what this car needs. I've dialed it back from the setting it was on. I just wanted it full soft for damping, no pitch and roll assistance. Just let it do its thing. And I've got something that is actually enjoyable and entertaining on the road. It doesn't appear to come with a caveat, its ability to deal with the lumps and bumps. Oh, it's honestly, it is just perfect. It is just perfect. And it's crucial to point out, it's just kept what we love about 996 GT3's tactility of steering, and it's kept that while giving that compliancy. Oh wow. That willingness to rev with a GT3 is just addictive. And again, this is where, like, the base setting for me in my car, being a Carrera, is slightly different. I've got pitch and roll with the tractive system, fully operational. With this on its most amicable, street-friendly setting, it's still got pitch and roll. So if I'm playing around at speeds up to 60 mile an hour, as I am today, you know, I want to feel what the car's doing. I want it to move around. It's telling me what it's doing. It's creating that engagement. I want it to do that, and it is. It's doing exactly that. and yet it's not crashing or skipping over these terrible roads. It's riding it really nicely. Honestly, what a brilliant thing. Brilliant. I hope somebody snaps this car up and goes out and does what this car is crying out for, and that is miles on the clock. That way's back to base. But I don't want to go back to base. I want to keep driving. I'm getting nowhere near the red line. The increased red line at 8,200 RPM in the Gen 2 is a 400 RPM increase over the Gen 1, and the start of Visac's ascension to that halo 9,000 RPM red paint that would eventually be realised in the 991.1 GT3. Now those cars have their own story, and there's becoming a little bit of an overlap between those and these. 997 has already gone beyond that threshold, but there is an overlap with these. And how ironic is it when we're discussing reliability of 996 and 991, with the GT cars, they're the other way round. They counter the usual consensus. The GT3 is more reliable. The Metzger engine is just, it's the engine, isn't it? Le Mans winning pedigree, you can't get better than that. It's been thrashed the life out of for 24 hours, no one beat it, and it still works. That's how good the Metzger engine is. There we are then. A magnificent drive in the 996.2 GT3. The GT3 market is really interesting presently, isn't it? For the 996 and 997s, that is, because the rear axle steering cars, so 991 and 992 GT3s, are so much quicker than these cars on track now. Their pace is frightening. The introduction of the GT3 Touring model as well has also given rise to people using, and GT3s being accepted as, exhilarating road cars. Now again, as I said at the start of the video, as good as this car is, for me, from factory, the 996.2 GT3 is too far askew towards track driving, okay? So on the road, therefore, the word was compromise. With the modifications, reference the semi-active suspension put here, instead of compromise, we've now got compliance on the public playground, the public road, which is probably where you're going to be doing the majority of your driving in a modern classic GT3 like this. Even if you're driving to a track day, you've still got to get there. You're probably going to have more time in terms of hours on the road than you ever are on the track. I have so loved my drive in this today. It has been a hell of an experience. I really hope this video is a bit of a celestial moment for this car, because it's sat in a showroom for the summer rather than being enjoyed. Certain people with collection aspirations may look at it and go, well, it's not factory original with the suspension system. Well, no, but it can all be put back on. It comes with the car. And also with the mileage, 29,000 miles, you can do 10,000 thrilling miles in this car, and it's still a low mileage GT3. A thrilling experience, a real eye-opener as well, and again highlights the merits of a gentle infusion of modern technology sympathetically inputted into these cars. It can bring results. Thank you so much to the team at Harbour Cars for allowing us to drive this splendid 996.2 GT3. Check it out on the 9works Marketplace. We'll see you again soon on 9works TV.